What were some "I can't believe I'm getting paid for this" moments at your job? Submitted by the Legend 1 MSCLF. Worked retail and had to sticker hundreds of items of clothing with little black sale stickers. Just as I'm finishing up, I was told they changed their mind and wanted me to use red stickers instead. So I went back over every item with red stickers. It was also a public holiday in Australia, so I was paid 2.5x my average pay, and spent 6 hours of my shift doing just that. I was a photojournalist, getting paid to sit on the sidelines of major sporting matches, at the sound desk or in the pit of bands from AC/DC to ZZ Top, meet all sorts of interesting people, and create a photo to help tell their story. I photographed John Cleese during a sound check. He went on a 20-minute rant about photographers. I had to ask him to stop as I was laughing so hard I couldn't take pictures. Met Jackie Stewart and heard him speak about his time as a Formula One driver. It was an amazing job, and one I was very lucky to do for as long as I did. Some days I would think some people would pay to be able to do this. There were crap days too, sitting in the hot sun at a murder scene all day. Watching police bag evidence sucks, as does attending car crashes in the middle of the night, in the rain. But I remember the good days better than the bad ones. In a past job, albeit a low-paid one, I got to help raise a baby sea otter, and one day I had the task of combing and fluffing up her fur to keep her waterproof and help her float. I was literally being paid to groom an adorable baby otter. I used to make video content for social media to drive ticket sales for a major arts festival. I would go to the tech rehearsal for major operas, plays, ballet, etc. There would be the full cast and orchestra performing as if they were playing to a full house, but it was just me and my camera. I could move around to get the right shot. I could go backstage and interview the performers and whoever else was in my brief to talk to. I got to tour around with an opera once. I have no background in this. I'm completely self-taught and had only done really pedestrian jobs before this. It was amazing. I never would have wanted to go to an opera or ballet before this came along. If you ever have the chance to see something like this, go. It's not as boring as you think it will be. My old job deliberately gave us downtime when work was slow and wouldn't give us more to do till like 3. So me and my co-workers downloaded Left 4 Dead and played co-op lol. But then the bosses were mad we had so much free time, like WTF, you're the ones who decided to make it like this. Right fucking now. I work in a call center for a government body here in the UK. Since February, I've been paid £12 an hour to fucking sit here and do fuck all. I have taken personally, myself, since February, 6 calls. But shit, I am bored. I work 8 hours a day. I actually work 20 minutes to a half hour of that. I read Reddit most of the day. I once worked as a graphic designer for a well-known website Facebook page about movies, series, video games, music, and sometimes I had to do very poor photo edits, like pasting a famous actor's head on the body of a cartoon character to illustrate the fact that this character will have this famous actor's voice in this movie, or things like that. I was asked to do the shittiest edit possible to make the post funny. Expos. They bought my department first-class high-speed train tickets to get there, paid all food, rooms, etc., and let us wander around and see all the technology and innovations. Every customer or supplier of ours waved us into their booth, gave us beer, food, and free swag. After the expo, there was a company party on the expo floor in our booth. Free food, booze, and seeing probably 90% of senior staff of our company completely hammered. Aside from that, as a recent grad who had previously only had temp and part-time jobs, I'm still amazed I have paid vacation, and a lot of it at that. I lifeguarded for 3 years. Sue a lot. When it gets rainy and everyone leaves the pool, they normally keep us around just in case it clears up. We watch TV and raid the snack bar. We play in the pool sometimes and blast music on the speakers. Having a party with a bunch of cute girl lifeguards while getting paid by the hour equals not a bad gig. Not at my job, but I was once in a documentary of the miners' strike. I got paid to spend a weekend throwing fake rocks at fake cops, shouting at them. It was so much fun. I used to get paid to hack into companies' networks. For the longest time it was I can't believe I get to do this legally and get paid stupid amounts of money for it. Then it just started pissing me off when I realized all the companies' network security suck. Many were hiring me for a compliance checkbox, and when I'd come back the following year they hadn't done anything. In some cases not even changed the damn passwords I used from the year prior. I now maintain a large list of companies I will never do business with using any type of credit card because I'm 110% positive it will be compromised if it hasn't been already. Oh hey, I can answer this one. I'm a dog trainer and we help dogs that are reactive to other dogs when on leash, i.e., barking, lunge at dogs when on walks. And one of the ways we do this is to drag a stuffed dog around. Looks realistic at a distance. You even talk to the stuffed dog, pet it, and pretend to feed it. All of this is happening while another trainer feeds the real dog anytime they see the fake dog. I've legit been asked if I'm crazy before until people figure out we are training a dog. Edit. Wow, this is my most popular comment to date. For those wondering what this is, it is a form of behavior modification. To find trainers who do stuff like this, try searching for trainers, remote or in person, certified through the Academy for Dog Trainers. I am certified through this organization and we get a very heavy dose of behavior modification for this stuff. Make sure the trainers are force-free and positive and that they never punish a dog for reacting. The latter will never help and will only make things worse. A positive one. I get to teach kids how to play Dungeons and Dragons for 6 weeks every summer. Rolling into work dressed in an elf princess costume and getting to play a game for 7 hours a day, it feels unreal. I'm still incredulous every time that direct deposit hits. Literally 70% of my time at work is spent sitting at my desk bullshitting around. Pretty much that. Working in IT, getting paid to be professional Googler basically. Probably the opposite end of the spectrum than intended, but I work as a professional photo retoucher for a mid-sized e-commerce site that focuses on women's clothing. So one day I was going through and editing lookbook images, meaning we outsourced a photographer, got a more expensive model, and shot on location. And in order to know which images, we have a spreadsheet which gives me an image number, a deadline, and editing notes, which is something specific they want done to the image. This is where things getting interesting. I am working my way through all of my edits when I come to an image number with a single editing note. Remove horse genitals. Of course I think it's odd and kinda funny, but only expect to maybe have to remove a couple equine testes. So I open the image. The model in a field sporting a yellow fluffy coat walking a horse by the reins, and a massive, fully unsheathed, red rocket hanging low. As I spent the next 5 minutes gingerly and artfully making sure this penis doesn't make it to the public, I couldn't help but keep asking myself how TF I am being paid to Photoshop away a horse's dick. Edit. Wow. My most upvoted comment ever is about a horse penis. Guess I'm the horse cock guy now. Client wanted to do a small tenant improvement to their existing office space and had existing PDF drawings of the office building, floor plans, cross-sections, etc. I quoted the client $2,000 for architectural permit plans, which would include redrawing the existing PDFs in AutoCAD and then drawing the proposed plans. Before I started the task of redrawing the PDFs, I had the idea. I Google searched PDF to DWG converter. To my surprise, there were many softwares that did this type of conversion. I managed to finish the entire project in about 5 hours. I'm a waiter, and if there's a mistake or a takeaway no-show, we get to eat it. Often we get paid to stand around and smear pizza. Edit. Wow. So obviously smear was supposed to be eat. Just wow. I write smut for a living. Every now and then, I write a line or get an idea for a story that's so ridiculously over the top that I genuinely have to take a step away from my laptop for a second and question exactly how it is this became my life. My personal favorite is the very nice email I got from someone who wanted me to commission me to write a story about him being sounded by a Hot Wheels car. He wanted the first half of the story to be about the car stretching out his urethra as it went in great detail, and the second half to be about the damage the car's wing mirrors did to his pee hole as it came out. I politely declined. I also love my job. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't want to do anything else. It's just fucking odd sometimes. Anytime a client takes me out for lunch or invites me to a golf or shooting tourney. But the craziest for me was when I was taken to a 4-hour lunch to a high-end steakhouse in Warren Buffet's credit card. That was pretty dope. I sometimes use Paint to alter screenshots of a technical drawings which I then paste into PowerPoint to add annotations and then print the whole thing into monochrome PDF. And you best believe we're changing big money for all of this. Also, we print every email. Mine are all pretty minor. But this is my favorite. Marketing has Macs. There's a recall on a battery for the MacBook one guy has. In theory, I could have mailed it straight to Apple and they would mail it back. But instead I drove 30 minutes south to a computer store that would mail it for me. I ate Mexican food. I drove back. And then a week or so later, I drove down and picked it up. I did not eat Mexican because the call came in late Friday and I had already eaten. I got paid 2 hours plus mileage plus one lunch to deliver someone's MacBook to a store because they're too busy and important to do it themselves. And I am perfectly okay with that. Anytime I dog sit for my neighbors. Used to work at a video store in college. Literally got paid to watch movies and do homework. Minimum wage, but hey, I got paid to study. This was the last video store I found, so it was usually extremely dead. I had to rub oil on a model's leg for a photo shoot. It was a positive, I can't believe I'm getting paid for this. Literally sitting there for 4 hours because the power went out. We were instructed to just stay in the break room. Boss ran to town and bought us pizza and we just hung out with some flashlights for light. Bullshitting and fucking around. We were making close to $20 an hour. So that was the easiest money I've ever made. We worked our ass off though because our boss treated us so good. Also, I love pooping on company time. Because fuck my current job. I'll sit in there for 20 minutes if I want.